So I saw this pop up in my feed over on Instagram. And the first time I saw it, I kind of scrolled past it because all I saw was the father, and the headline was, "Father runs over deputy sheriff for the death of his son." So basically, it was retaliation. That's how the headline was presented. This was supposed to be retaliation for his son being shot and killed, right? But then I said, well, let me take a closer look and let me delve into the comments and see what's happening. Well, what we got is a lot more than just that headline. And to show you how ridiculous we are when it comes to how our inability to control our emotions, and then how we side and advocate for the worst shit possible for our own communities, I just want to drive this point home yet again. Here's another case that we have right in front of us that we can see with our own eyes, and we can see the justification of people that lend it to people and criminals that don't deserve it. Y'all are out here advocating and standing up and marching for criminals. And it's unbelievable to watch. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. But let's get some more context.
Tonight, the father of a teen fatally shot by Cincinnati police Thursday, now behind bars, after investigators say he killed a deputy from another department the next day with his car.
There is a connection between these two incidents.
38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. is charged with aggravated murder. Prosecutors say he intentionally struck a recently retired Hamilton County deputy who was on traffic patrol.
I've got an officer now.
A makeshift memorial today at the intersection. The deputy, just identified by the sheriff's office as Larry Henderson, later died at the hospital.
He was so well liked and so well known.
A courtroom full of law enforcement Saturday as Hinton faced a judge. His team in court calling this an emotionally charged situation. Hinton making a hard-to-hear comment to deputies while being escorted out in handcuffs. The crash happened just hours after he joined a meeting with Cincinnati police to review body camera video of his son's death, according to the attorneys hired by the family to investigate the police shooting. The video, now publicly released from two different angles, shows 18-year-old Ryan Hinton being shot and killed Thursday morning by a city police officer.
He's got to go.
Investigators say the teen pointed a gun at Cincinnati officers responding to a call of a stolen vehicle. Hinton's family attorneys tonight writing they are heartbroken by this tragic turn of events, and we are all devastated for the family of the officer who was killed.
Shaquille Brewster joins us now from Cincinnati. So, Shaq, what is next here for the man being charged?
Hallie, he's scheduled to be back in this courthouse Tuesday morning as the state requests he be held without bond. Meanwhile, you see it there. Flags on county buildings have been lowered to half staff in honor of that fallen deputy. Hallie?
All right. So now that we have the facts of the case, there's a teen, 18-year-old, who's supposed to be in school, getting ready to graduate because his family said he was a great student. They had all these remarkable and great things to say about him, right? They always do. Said he was a great student, great kid, never harmed nobody, never did nothing. Yet he's out here running around in the streets with a gun, mind you, hijacking and stealing cars. Okay. So you go out with your friends, y'all doing kill boy runs out in the streets with guns on you. Okay, got it, check. So then the call comes in, deputies and officers respond to the call, and they find y'all. They pull up on y'all, y'all all decide they can't catch us all, so we'll all just break for it. They all get out, they all run. This particular kid here who was shot, while he's running, they said that he was reaching for a gun. Everybody came out and said, where's the gun? He wasn't reaching for no gun in the video. We didn't see him reach for nothing. Well, later on, pictures came out where they absolutely found the gun. The gun was there and it was present on him. So, these are the facts. I'm just giving y'all the facts so far. Kid running around with his friends, 18 years old, when he should have been preparing for school graduation. Instead, he was out stealing your car out your parking lot, and now you got to make a call to your insurance company if you got insurance, because some of us don't, right? Some of y'all don't even have insurance, so you can't afford to have your car stolen. But anyway, he out here running around with his friends, decides, we going to go ahead and hijack this ride today. So, and mind you, chances are this ain't the first time. They didn't just wake up and decide to do this. This ain't the first time that this boy done been in trouble. This ain't the first time that he done something like this. It was 4 of them. They experienced, this ain't their first rodeo. So he been out here as a menace to the community and to society. But all right, let's put all that aside and let's say that the officer was wrong that shot him. All right. He runs, he gets shot, he dies. Father goes down to the police station, says, let me see the footage. I want to see the footage of my son being killed and murdered in the streets. They show him the footage. They said he was eerily quiet. He stood there, he watched the footage, and he left without saying another word, and they never saw him again. A day later, he decides to get into his car and literally run down an officer that was only there. This was a retired officer, by the way. A retired officer who had decided to pick up a couple of hours by standing and chauffeuring students during a crosswalk. He was a crossing guard that day. That's all he was doing. A uniformed crossing guard. He had been retired, but decided on that day, I'm going to pick up a couple of hours. I'll just do some crossing guard work. Help the kids out. Here comes emotional dad. Stupid by all accounts. Gets into his car, completely mows him over and runs him down like a dog with his car. This officer, by the way, had nothing to do with his sons. This was not the officer, because this was the headline at first. At first the headline was, oh, it was the same officer that killed his son. That's why he did it. No, that's not true at all. He found a random officer standing doing cross guard work outside and ran his car into him. Did not know this officer, had never seen him a day in his life. This officer had nothing to do with his son's case at all. But he decided, since my son's life got taken, I'm going to take yours.
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to break, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson. We believe, based on our investigation, the witnesses that we spoke to up to this point, that Hinton left our office and was traveling and came upon Deputy Hinton and made an intentional decision to drive directly at Deputy Hinton and strike him and kill him.
An Ohio man has been charged with aggravated murder after police say he struck a sheriff's deputy with a car.
There will be an order of remand with no bond.
Prosecutors say the case is linked to another killing the previous day.
This is the most unusual case.
On Thursday, a Cincinnati police officer fatally shot an armed 18-year-old as he ran from what police described as a stolen car. Authorities say Ryan Hinton was one of 4 men who were fleeing after officers found them in the car. An officer says it appeared to him that Hinton pointed a gun at him, but the officer's body camera footage does not clearly capture the moment. The officer who shot Hinton has not been publicly named. Police said they recovered a handgun they say Hinton had been carrying. It had not been fired, according to the Cincinnati police chief.
Ryan was a sweet, gentle giant. We, as black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police.
Being in a stolen car, having a firearms, we're in Ohio, so you can open carry in Ohio. So that's not a death penalty.
The next day, his father, Rodney Hinton Jr., became distraught while watching police body camera footage of the killing. His family attorney told the Cincinnati Enquirer. Hours later, prosecutors allege Hinton purposefully struck and killed long-serving Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Henderson as he was directing traffic at a commencement.
I don't think he was a cop killer. I think he was not in his right mind. And I think he should be treated like any other mentally ill person that commits a crime under the auspices, control, and authority of a mental defect in a condition. That's what we have in this case.
Now we're trying to say he had a mental illness. No, from the time that the father left the precinct, they said that this happened in the same day, just a couple hours later. So in other words, he got into his vehicle and he was determined to get some get back that day, that moment. He was not going to wait. I had it wrong. I thought he waited a day and got up and did it. Nope. He left right from the police station, said, all right, y'all killed my boy. Okay, I'm about to kill one of y'all. An officer, again, retired, had nothing to do with it, had his own family to go home to. Retired, had already put in his work, had already put his badge down. He out here doing cross guard work. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, y'all. It don't. This kid was out here being a fucking menace. And everybody wants to gloss over that. This kid was out here hijacking cars with guns on him. What y'all think the gun was for then? Since he was no problem, since he was a great student, he was a great person, he was just the greatest person you could ever meet. He had never harmed anybody. He wouldn't harm a fly. Just the sweetest thing. Well, then what the fuck he doing running around with a gun on him and stealing cars in broad daylight? Somebody answer that for me. If he was never out there, and if he was in school where he was supposed to be, this wouldn't happen. But nobody wants to acknowledge that fact. As black people, we want to race bait. We want to take up race wars. When our own kids are out here being a menace, being demons in the streets, we want to take it to a race war. While our kids is out here just fucking everything up in the community. Stealing shit, robbing people, knocking people over in the head with guns, shooting at random people, killing random people, being demons, evil, obnoxious. We want to give all the kids passes for this shit. We don't want to hold them to any type of standard whatsoever. But we see where he get it from. He got it from his daddy. He got it right from his daddy.
I want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. My brother got to see me. They did this shit before. They did this shit before. They did it before. I got video of them messing with my brother and me before. I ain't do nothing. I just wanted my brother to see me.
So now you yelling at the deputy and officer that ain't got nothing to do, another deputy officer that ain't got nothing to do with your brother and him going out and killing the officer. Man, listen, bro. I don't understand how y'all roll. I don't understand the moral conviction or lack thereof, rather. And then if you ever just needed to take the temperature of the room, just look at the comments. Look at the comments. They let all them cops in the courtroom but wouldn't let his family in. I love my family. I'd accept my fate knowing I did right by my son. No fucks given. Yeah, it wasn't you that did it, but it was your people. You bleed blue, right? Yeah, okay. You play, there you lay. 946 likes. Y'all see what the fuck I'm talking about? Just the utter stupidity out here. And then a lot of people crashing out in these comments, you're not about to go out and do shit. By the way, Rodney here, the dude who ran over and killed this officer that had nothing to do with his son's death. Rodney has 2 other kids. One is 6, and I think another one is 3 months old or something like that. Rodney has other kids that are now fatherless and will be fatherless for the rest of their days. Rodney just made a black woman a single mom. Oh, there's that. To compound already, which, I mean, hell, it don't really matter because it seems like them kids might be better off without Rodney around, seeing as how his son was out here robbing people and stealing cars and running around with guns and shit in the streets. So, hell, they might be better off without him. Who knows? But just to drive the point home, Rodney didn't give a fuck about them other 2 kids. I'll leave it to their mom. Their mama got it. She'll be all right. They removed his entire family for what? Because they're being fucking disruptive. Do you not see it? Look at this person. Right or wrong, that guy lost his nephew and brother in the same week. His brother was an idiot. And so was his nephew. Why can't he support his brother? They support each other even when they dead wrong. Y'all don't be for real about defending y'all kids, because how he wrong. Might have not been the right cop, but oh well, they got the message. Y'all don't even combat black on black crime this way, yo. This how I know y'all not even fucking serious. Y'all not for real. It's murderers and killers running around on your own block and y'all don't say shit to them. Y'all don't be out here ready and willing to die for them then. As soon as you hear about another black boy getting gunned down or a young black lady getting gunned down, y'all ain't nowhere to be found. Just like that 5-year-old girl and her father that was gunned down at the goddamn car wash. That shit was a news headline for about 2.5 days. And you know what y'all did? Y'all went right back to work on Wednesday. Right back to work on Wednesday. Like it never happened. It wasn't no outrage. It wasn't no outpouring of black activists marching through the streets. Wasn't none of that. None of that. Then you would have been justified in marching through the streets for some shit. What? None of that. Young baby, 5 years old, get gunned down in the car with her daddy at the car wash. I ain't seen not one march. Not one black march. Y'all talked about it for 2.5 days and y'all went right back to punching that clock. Like it never happened. But as soon as something like this happens where a cop that had nothing to do, this cop was retired, had already did his bid as an officer of the law, had a family somewhere, waiting on him to come home. He out doing cross guard work and gets run over by a car, and y'all in the comments talking about, oh well. But y'all don't ever oh well when y'all family get gunned down by another black kid. By another black teen with dreads running around here with guns on them. Out in the streets not doing fuck all day long, but smoking weed and holding niggas up. Y'all don't oh well that. If you saw that one video, it scared me how the cop looked at him and shook his head like, I got something for you type of stare. God protect that man. He's gonna need it. You asking God to protect the man that went out and ran. Yo, y'all fucking sick, bro. Y'all sick as fuck. Y'all sick as hell. I'm done.